Hello everyone, it's a very sunny day here in Autopolis, and the sun, well, the sun is shining on this racetrack, on these 19 drivers racing here today in Autopolis. Welcome everyone to round 2 of the Formula Hololive Japan Zako Cup. It's the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race coming right up. That being said, let's take a look into the track map here, and yes, I know that there is a Japanese viewer tuning in. I'll switch to Japanese wherever possible, but first of all, we can take a read into the track map here. For all the Japanese reading, for all the Japanese watching the stream, you can watch the map and the whole the track map, all that stuff. There it's also written in Japanese, so that should help you. 4.6 kilometers of racing, racetrack is Autopolis has that amount of racetrack in a single lap. We also have to deal with 19 laps here for a single lap. And then we also have 54 laps coming up for these drivers, as this is a Super Prix. Super Prix are only length at 250 kilometers. But anyways, we want to see a target lap time of 1:25.155 because that was last year's pole position time. We'll see if there are any drivers able to break this target lap time. We also wanted to mention that this is Shirogane Nol's home race in virtual Oita. Well, you can say that, it's virtual Oita because of course Shirogane Nol is a virtual YouTuber and she does take pride in being part of Oita, which she would absolutely call home. But we're not going to be talking about her much until tomorrow because that is where Michael Turner will be racing in the Suyo Cup. It's the southernmost track in Japan. Because of course this is literally the southernmost track in Japan. It is located in Kyushu in the southwest. So you can see that there may be some increased temperatures because right now we have an ambient temperature of 33 degrees, and it's also this track is very famous for its steep elevation changes, especially if you come down from the second hairpin to the roller coaster straight. There's a massive downhill back straight coming into turn 11, so this will be a challenge for the drivers. So anyways, let's take a look into the standings for the splits, especially let's take a look into the Zako Cup standings as of recently. We haven't updated the standings to new drivers, but we are going to tell you that we will have 4 new drivers replacing drivers in the Zako Cup. Of course, we have Sunil Markman, Sean Pauli, and Momoshiki Freza finishing on the podium in the last race at Tokachi. Because Salman started on pole last time at Tokachi as well. Unfortunately, he was knocked out of winning contention after he had to do two-stop strategy gone slightly wrong. And then we have Jeff Rohan in 5th. And in the Todoroki Hajime number 82, there is a new driver coming up, and that his name is Masa Raido. He will be racing for Todoroki Hajime full-time onwards. So we can't wait to see how he will participate. And then we have Jake Martinez, Hyuta Asano. This will be a very sentimental race for Hyuta Asano, as this will be the final race for why did I turn on the team? Anyways, Hyuta Asano of course races for the Minato Aqua for the last time, while Aqua still remains as an active retreat YouTuber. So there will be a lot of wait for Asano to get a good result. And then there's Alex Grant and Sakaji Mikolov riding out of top 10. We have Aaron Nakamura and Johan Scheffel in the 11th and 12th, representing Akai Hato and Natsuri Matsuri. And then 13th is Fabio Mendes. Well, that was Fabio Mendes. He's now replaced by Takashi Pen for representing Hakui Koyori. Cashew 14th, Shango 15th for Watame and Ririka respectively. And then we have Hofumi 16th. Richie Rod has been replaced by Tamoyuki Aoki in the Shirakama Fubuki number 22. And then we have Don Elise, who has been replaced by Hani Pham in the Otonoshi Kanade number 59. And rounding out the 19-car grid is Callum Gibbons, who represents Roboco. With that being said, welcome everyone to the stream. My name is Mama Sharon Reza, and usual as a commentary booth. Nihongo Hanasu minasan ni kono haishin ni yokoso. Kyou wa Autopolis de race kaisai. Excuse me, but I'm gonna need to check because I think there is a slight error on this one, so we're gonna have to do a bit of a restart here. We're gonna delay the start of this qualifying session because apparently something broke. 何かが壊れたので、予選セッションがまだ開催しません。少し待ってください。Anyways, we're just gonna wait until everything loads back, and we will try to get this qualifying session back underway. And so we have the cars ready. Excuse me. There's something absolutely wrong because apparently we've already loaded the race. So this will take a while. This is another bit of the something wrong with the stats here. So I would like to request everyone to continue waiting as we're gonna try to resort the results. We apologize for the delay in the start of the qualifying session. And so just wanted to recap. So again, we like to request everyone for your patience. We're still trying to sort the results manually again. Again, I would like everyone to continue to remain patient. We are going to fix the issue. Just wanted to check back on the standings. Hopefully it's accurate. As 10 and 8205 9 63 35 81 7 54 366 122 59 64. Okay, so we have fortunately resorted the results. もう一度言うけど、日本語を話す皆さんに、 この配信へようこそ。今、レースはザコハイランキングを更新中。予選セッションがまだ開催しないので、遅れてしまいました。でも大丈夫ですよ、皆さん。予選セッションはもう始めました。Anyways, we got the qualifying session back underway here in the Zako Cup. So we got Carz getting out on track finally after a short delay. 5 minutes delay at best, so we are going to get everyone out on track here. We got the first few cars out. That is Isekaiji Mikolev, car number 35. Again, I would like to advise everyone who is watching the stream to just continue chatting in the live chat. みんながこの配信を見る皆さんに何があったらライブチャットにコメントしてください。必ず返事しようとしますので。So anyways, let's not get carried away here. We have Isekaiji Mikolev, who's had a pretty touch and go season, although that touch and go season isn't really a good season. He didn't qualify for the CO Cup, so he's just gonna make do with the Zako. Just one of many cars out on track. We also have Takashi Pen on his Formula Hololive debut. He's already started for Hakui Koyori in the last race in Sepang Hololive degree. Let's not get carried away too much because we're gonna go on board Takashi Pen for a lap here in Autopolis. So here we are going to start this lap at the final two corners. Try to carry as much speed at the final corners at turn 17 and turn 18. We also will apologize for saying that there are 19 corners when there's actually 18. Well, in Wikipedia it says 19, but anyways, long back straight, coming to turn 1, bring out a 100-meter board, trying to make use of the cambered corner to carry a lot of speed, 282 kilometers an hour, exiting coming into the braking zone, and then coming into turn 3. You see here, 4th gear mid-speed corner. No more mid-speed corners. It is a very, very interesting sequence here with a 22.222. Nice for Takashi in the first sector. We have to turn 3 to turn 6. First hairpin as a second corner. And then you see the go flat out turn 9, but before that there was turn 8 where you have to lift off a bit at 100R. And here's the off-camber second hairpin corner leading up into the roller coaster straight. It's a roller coaster because there's a huge amount of elevation changes. Then coming to turn 11, 54.879 for Takashi Pen in the second sector. As you can see, here's another section where you have to treat all of these corners as one. Coming into turn 16, coming out the bridge turn 17. And then here's the long right-hander, turns 18 and 19, and then you just go flat out turn 19 to complete your lap. And that should be Takashi Pen setting a 126.329. Right now we are going to need to return back on the towers. As you can see here, Mikolev and Pen have already set their lap times. Pen is doing very good, but it's far from the 125. Speaking of which, Tiny Fam is currently beaten Takashi Pen. Hyuta Asano with a 125.882 in what might be Aqua's last race. Well, Asano, what is currently Asano's last race? Well, not Aqua remains an active virtual YouTuber. And right now, everyone's just gonna try to be Asano's lap, but it's to no avail. Here's Hani Fam, the closest one, only a 1/10 of a second slower than Asano. Salman, only 3/10 of a second slower. Nakamura's already set a lap. Grant sets himself in 4th place. We got more drivers trying to set their lap. Sean Go with a 128.220 for the guy who has recently won at Sepang Hololive GT3. Kamoyuki Aoki in her first Hololive GT3 qualifying, Formula Hololive qualifying session. She now sits herself in 12th after Reza displaces the drivers below him to get up into 8th. Cashew 14 and Callum Gibbons 125.841 beats Asano by 0.04 of a second. Hofumi with 126.838. Polly with 126.120. Two drivers have yet to set their laps. Jeff Rohan and Hani Pham are gonna cross the line once again. Jeff Rohan's gonna place himself only good enough for 15th. Hani Pham's gonna get into the pits. And here's Masa Raido, the debutant. Raido coming out of the final corner. Long main straight coming in for him, and it's going to be a 126.590 for the debutant. His first race for Todoroki Hajime. Obviously, he was tuning into the Formula Hololive International race a week ago and said, I want to join this one. It's Hololive and racing. A match made in heaven. So Raido got himself registered, and of course here we are. We have Raido essentially taking over Liam Kai, as Liam Kai is only going to be there on an interim basis anyway. But anyways, Raido is now coming in, and we also have Kamoyuki Aoki improving her lap time. She's now up in 12th place. And right now it's going to be a pretty sentimental front row here as far as Hyuta Asano is concerned. Sean Pauli is currently the fastest car still out on track. He's currently going to see if he can find any improvements. He does find some improvements, 126.061. Only still puts himself 2/2200ths of a second back. Got an interesting session on our hands as we still have about 8 minutes of qualifying to go here in Autopolis. We now have Hani Pham back out on track. Markman currently in 8th for Jupiter Raiden. Of course, he won at the last Formula Hololive race for the Zako Cup entrance. He won at Tokachi in the Super Prix. So it's going to be very, very interesting to see where these drivers place themselves, as we now get to see Shaki Reza, who has won a race in Formula Hololive Japan, but still has failed to make the CEO Cup by virtue of poor results elsewhere. He's currently down in 13th place. You also have Isekai Jimeka left though. Just wanted to note to you about something. Sakura Miko has recently announced that she will be hosting a live concert, a solo live, where she will be performing in front of her loyal Mikopi, her fans, at Ariake Arena. So if you look at the rear wing, if you look very closely into the rear wing, you will see her live logo, well, her solo live logo. So, yeah, now Isakaji Mikalev, of course, one of the loyal Mikopis out there, is also going to do his part in helping promote the concert for Sakura Miko. Anyways, here's Asano. Yeah, and you can see here they both exit around the same time, so it's going to be a straight-up duel between these two drivers. Gibbons has yet to win a Formula Hololive race this season. His last win came at the Our Bright Parade Grand Prix Split A race. Of course, the OBP Grand Prix Split A race was the first Formula Hololive Japan race for points. Both JP and in-class cars participated. That being said, Gibbons now in turn 3. You can see here he's again pretty tight, and Asano is also up into the mix. Gibbons just needs to find some time, and as you can see here, both of them are not improving on their first sector. It's going to be a straight dogfight to see who gains where in the next two sectors, because right now we have Gibbons leading Asano. And with a bit of that dirty air and slipstream, we may see Asano gain a bit more on the straights and lose a bit more in the corners. So it's a bit of a trade-off here. Anyways, Callum Gibbons currently down in the roller coaster straight in the turn 11. And as you can see, he's really sweeping himself in, and he's only like a tenth of a second back. Asano is already 19 of a hundredths back on his own pole time. And so right now the race is on for points here. We got Gibbons continuing to stretch his legs a bit. Let's see if we can find some extra time in the final sector. He has been tight throughout the entire lap, but has he been able to find just a little bit of something extra in his lap? There's nothing in him. Jean-Paul just gets out here. Asano has no response either. We got more drivers coming out. And so we have Cal Gibbons free to have a lap on his own with a lot of clean air and traffic. Meanwhile, Asano's going to have some trouble to at the very least gain some time. We have Jake Martinez, though, providing a bit of a surprise. Only 1/10 of a second back on Gibbons' lap. The 1:25.946 for Jake Martinez. See here Jake Martinez just continuing to pile on the pressure. Asano's still going to be stuck behind Cal Gibbons, so I don't expect some lap time gains from Asano anytime soon. Again, we may have some Japanese viewers tuning in. 日本語でもチャットしてもいいですよ。日本語に返事しますので。気楽にチャットしてくださいね。Anyways, back onto the racetrack here. Just trying to address the Japanese viewers, some of the Japanese viewers who are tuning into the stream. So we got around less than 4 minutes of this qualifying session to go. No improvement for Asano, as of course he has been blocked by Sean Pauli. But again, we have Sean Pauli who's just about starting his flying lap. He's been a long-time driver for Inagami Korone, started for all races for Inagami Korone since 2022. So if the Koroniski want to find a reliable driver that has remained loyal to both the cause of Inagami Korone and the whole Koroniski thing, Sean Pauli essentially has their backs. Oh, and Alex Grant with a lap from out of nowhere actually matches Jake Martinez's lap time, but I think he's only marginally faster because Assetto Corsa may be able to count these in the tens of thousands. As you can see here, they have almost identical lap times here, Grant and Martinez, but I think due to Grant just being only slightly further up than Martinez, he should be able to grab third place. So right now we have a second row that sets about just an identical lap time. So it's very, very exciting here to see how this competition ends up. We have Masaraido continuing to improve, gets to learn the ropes on how aero competitions work. He sets a lap time only good enough for 9th, but on his debut should be good. And now we have Takahashi Pen, 1:25.903, beats both Grant and Martinez to have third place all on his own. Gibbons now coming into the pits. Asano may feel like he may be blocked by Sean Pauli, but that doesn't really matter. Asano will have one slight advantage, and that advantage is that I believe he will have the outside line coming into turn 1. And if you have the outside line at the first corner, you should be able to make moves on there, and more specifically, you're able to make defensive moves over there. Anyways, more changes in the timing tower as Mikolev is now up into 11th place for Sakura Miko. Gallon Gibbons and Hofumi currently in a points position, as well as the likes of Hanifam, who is currently up in 6th place, and Tomoyuki Aoki, who's in 13th. So we are in a good position where we'll have all of the Formula Hololive Japan Zako Cup drivers of 2024 score points in 2 races of the season. It's going to be possible in the first, but it should be possible by the time we reach 2 races in this 5-race Zako Cup season. This will also apply to the CEO, don't worry about that. Gibbons currently leading in the Autopolis Super Pre qualifying session for the Zako Cup race, which will be coming up in the next few minutes after the qualifying has concluded. Michaela has been gaining a lot of time here, especially against, that looks to me, Alex Grant. Oh no, that's Tomoyuki Aoki, who's currently down in 13th. No gains for Mikhailov as far as the lap times are concerned. Asano has already come into the pits. He will end his qualifying run here. Callum Gibbons is going to try to get himself further up into the timing. 126.843 for Johan Sinful. Let's see what Gibbons has to offer in his final qualifying lap. So let's go on board Callum Gibbons to see how much progress he's been making. Unfortunately, he's down by 0.04 of a second. But doesn't matter. Let's see if we can gain something in the next two sectors. And you can see here you have to do some slight lifting at the right-hander, because that's where he feels like that is as much as the car could corner. And speaking of which, Sean Go is now up into 8th place with a lap time under 3/10 of a second behind Gibbons' whole time. And you can see here, Gibbons still not finding any improvements. Speaking of improvements, Jeff Rohan now gets up into 10th place. That should be his starting position, unless drivers below him can cook up some surprises. Gibbons, turn 18. Tries to get a good launch at turn 19 by compromising parts of his turn 18 run. And here's Callum Gibbons, one of the last cars out on track. And there is no improvements. Callum Gibbons will start on pole position for the Autopolis Super Pre Zako Cup race. What a qualifying session that was. We got Callum Gibbons not really reaching the target lap time targets of a 125.1, but it is still good enough for pole position. And look at this front row. Let's take a look into the starting lineup here for the Autopolis Super Pre Zako Cup race. Here we have Callum Gibbons starting on pole position for Roboco 125.841 alongside Hyuta Asano with his best starting position in his aero career in Formula Hololive. And what better race to do this than in Manakata Aqua's last race in Formula Hololive and in aero competitions while still remaining as an active VTuber. Because in the next race, because Asano's next race is in September, and by that time Aqua will have already been graduated. So Asano is going to have a great chance of swooping this inside line to get this move into turn 1 against Callum Gibbons, but he needs a good start. Takashi Pin with his in his debut, he's now up into 3rd place for Hakui Koyori, with Alex Grant 4th for Yuki Hanalami. 5th goes to Jake Martinez for Hyoda Xiao for Costa Rica. He currently starts 5th in car number 05. Hani Pham starts 6th for Otonose Kanade. Again, we got rookies doing very well here. Pin and Pham are up there in the top 6. Sean Pauly 7 for Inagami Korone with 8th place Sean Go. The two Seans in row 4, Christoph Salman and Jeff Rohan, make up 9th and 10th for Aski and Tokoyami Toa. Masaraido qualifies 11th on his debut for Todoroki Hajime alongside 12th place Chanel Markman, his fellow Regloss teammate who is representing Jufu Teiraden. 3rd place goes to Johan Sinful Nasir Matsuri with Isukaji Mikala 14th for Sakuramiko. Tomoyuki Yaku starts 15th, and we have Hofumi lining up alongside her as 16th. They're representing Shirakami Fubuki and Tokino Sora respectively. Shaki Reza starts 17th, and Ayo Nakamura 18th for Akai Hato, and Imo Casio starts 19th for Tsunamaki Watame. So we're going to take a slight intermission here to share my thoughts before we officially start this race. So we're going to switch the cameras up a bit. And so we have an interesting starting lineup here. We have Callum Gibbons on pole position with Hyuta Asano in 2nd place. It's going to be very, very interesting to see how these drivers will start, and especially for Hyuta Asano, who's currently starting on the inside line. Essentially anything goes here in Autopolis. Will it be Callum Gibbons who will be able to convert his pole position to this race lead, or will Yuta Asano have anything to say about in what is widely regarded as we mentioned, Aqua's last race as an active Hololive VTuber, because of course this is the last chance Asano is able to try to get a good result for Aqua. But let's see how it goes here, as we're gonna start this race here in Autopolis. The Autopolis Super Race Zako Cup race is about to officially get underway, and it is Yuta Asano in second place, and alongside him is Cal Gibbons on pole position. 5 red lights are on, and we have officially started this race, and it's gonna be a good launch there by Asano. Cal Gibbons is gonna try to defend. Asano now lining up a move down the inside into turn 1, and as you can see here, Asano is actually still on it, but Cal Gibbons is just about ahead. Alex Grant beats Takashi Pen for third place. We've got a lot of drivers scrambling for position. We have Alex Grant trying to defend his third place. Meanwhile, we have Jake Martinez. Where does he come from? Now trying to go around the outside against Takashi Pen. It's currently Callum Gibbons currently maintaining this race lead. Asano second, Grant third, Pen fourth. As you can see, Pen's trying to try to defend his position against a charging Martinez in fifth, Fam 6, Gold 7th, Salman 8th, Paulie 9th, and Jeff Rohan in the top 10. We saw this battle developing there, and it continues to develop. There might be some more in the tank of Takashi Pen as he continues to try to grab back his 4th place. Does have the slight inside line, but it's going to swing to the outside and then the inside again. Oh, pushes Martinez off there. Oh, you can see here the rear end sliding, both rear end sliding for these two drivers. They're driving this car at the ragged edge. Nothing's really separating between the two. As you can see here, Pin continues to attack, and he is able to defend his 4th place. And Ari Nakamura has spun out of what looks to me, oh dear, she's went off track, and I don't think she's able to continue. She will be the first retirement here in Autopolis for this weekend. Not what Hachama has been looking for. Meanwhile, we have Crystal Salman and Okopio Markman are now taking up 10th place against Jeff Rollins, now down in 11th. Gibbons has now built up a 1-second lead over Yuta Asano. We'll be checking the race field monitor to see the pit stop predictions for these drivers. And so we have Shaken Preza and Tamoyuki Aoki, meanwhile currently languishing at the back. Amakashi's done very well to have a very good start. He's now up into 16th place. Sinful is 15th, Fumi 14th. They're currently making up the back line. Tamoyuki Aoki currently down in 17th. She's not going to be set on... She's not in a points position yet, but have faith in the system. She might be able to get something out of it. Callum Gibbons currently ahead of Asano by 1.6 seconds. Asano, meanwhile, has to guard his Grant's advancements. Grant is looking for an opportunity to make a move against Asano, but Asano's going to be sure to race the hell out of this car and back. Remember, this is okay. Just wanted to check on the Callum Gibbons for a while. 126.138. That is his fastest lap of the race so far. Doing very well to continue stretching his gap. But Asano, meanwhile, is going to try to give everything he's got for Minato Aqua. Aqua may be watching the stream, so he may have something that a little bit of spark inside him for what, in his words, the last Oshi that he has truly ever idolized. Asano is an Aqua crew through and through, and right now he's gonna try to make things work by at the very least maintaining his podium finish and to grab some sort of trophies for Aqua before her graduation comes up. And if he is able to win here in Autopolis, it will be a massively popular win for what is essentially a swan song race for Minato Aqua. But right now, Gibbons has built up a massive gap. You want to know why? He's going to go for a pretty short pit stop. Everyone's going to go for a pretty short pit stop. And looking at Yuta Asano, he's going to go for a slightly longer pit stop. He will be pitting 2 laps later than Callum Gibbons. So this may be at the advantage of Asano, because if he can time his pit stops correctly, he may be able to get away with a one-stop strategy, while Callum Gibbons continues to stretch his legs with a 125.8. Asano is going to try to bide his time in terms of making pit stops. Meanwhile, there may be some battles here. Look at Hani Pham trying to defend against Go, both Regloss drivers. Oh, and you can see both of them trying to go at it. And meanwhile, we have Tamayuki Aki taking the lead over Mohamed Cashew. And by lead, I mean 16th place. Lots of energy currently coursing through this racetrack. What more could you want in Formula Hololive Japan? Asano currently trying to maintain his second place. He's able to build up a pretty decent gap here, just under a second ahead of Alex Grant, but it's now open now compared to our last lap. It was 3:10, but it's now up into 8/10. Expect early pit stop activity here, as you can see. Hopefully, will be one of the latest drivers to pit. Meanwhile, we may expect Hani Pham and Takashi Pen to come in pretty soon. So anyways, 18 cars left here in Autopolis in what is got to be a pretty interesting race. And also a bit of a story here for Isekai Mikolev and Masaraido. And speaking of which, there may be a battle here between Jake Martinez and Pen. And it looks to me that Martinez is able to take that 4th place. Very great stuff. Anyways, there was interest for actually Aoki has managed to continue her charge up into the point position, but now she has to defend against her fellow Gen 1 teammate Johan Sinful, and Sinful is still hanging around the outside, but now it's in the inside line for Aoki, as Aoki's gonna try to get herself in position, but she's on the outside line of turn 8, and now into turn 9. Aoki's gonna stay around the outside for the second hairpin, coming into the roller coaster corner, which should be in the advantage of Sinful usually, but Aoki manages to make it work. Amazing stuff for Aoki, who's able to get herself up in position, and she's now in a points position. Anyways, back into the story between Masaraido and Sakuramiko, right? When Raido wanted to get his forms in for the registration, he said that he wants to represent Sakuramiko, but then we was told that Sakaji Mikolev is already driving for Sakuramiko, and we now have the first line of pit stop activity here, Salman, Pin, and Pham. Back into the story here of the Sakuramiko ride. Masaraido was told that there was no opening for the Sakuramiko ride, and so the host has actually told Raido that there are options. There are options available. There is then we have Masaraido saying that he would like to either pick Fubuki, ASCII, etc., etc., etc. But then the host said it was already taken as well. But then the host has opened up another opportunity for Raido to race, and the opening is in the form of some of the Regloss cars still available, and that is, of course, we're talking about the Todoroki Hajime number 82. And when given the offer, Masaraido just wasn't able to refuse, and he's now in the Todoroki Hajime number 82. And here's going to be a good litmus test on which strategy will do best, because Pham, Pin, and Salman is only 15 seconds behind Saki Freza. If you want to know why, they underfueled their cars. Look at Salman, he's only going to be good for the next 6 laps. He's going to have to pit again. Same goes for Pham and Pin. A disaster class for these two drivers. And right now, Gibbons may be in a dangerous position because he only has about 5 liters of fuel, 2 laps of fuel, where he's able to continue on this strategy. But will he be able to stretch for as long as he can? There's Martinez and Go coming into the pits. Also, they're going to be making the same mistakes. They're also going to be having to make their second stops. It will be brief the first stop, but then they'll lose a lot of time in the second. Again, we got viewers tuning in. Thanks for tuning in to this stream so far. We're currently hosting the Autopolis Super Pre Zako Cup race. If you like this stream, please drop a like in the stream. we have a subscribe button that you can press if you want to see more of this content. We have more races coming up next week, as well as this tomorrow. And if you don't want to miss a beat on any of the uploads or live streams, you can hit the notification bell as well. Again, we also would like to encourage everyone to chat in the live chat, where we'll be sure to respond as much as we can. Right now, we are currently taking a look into Callum Gibbons. Right now, he's currently being called. He's currently being called to the pits. Asano has 2 extra laps of fuel that he's able to carry, and right now this will be a test on whether or not Gibbons will be able to stay in the race lead. Will the strategist make another slip up? Here's Asano currently taking the race lead for Minato Aqua. If only we have the fans cheering, they will be absolutely enjoying this moment. And looking at Callum Gibbons, he's not set to fill himself up until the end of this race. Asano is now in a serious position to bring home this win for Minato Aqua. This will be an extremely popular win if he's able to hang on to this lead. If he's able to get his pit crew to have a very good judgmental call at the very least in the pit stop cycles, then Asano is gonna be at a serious position to just continue on as normal and to just feel him. The target for Asano is for him to get a full tank of fuel in his next stop and see if he's able to get into the end of this race. If he's able to get into the end of this race with just one stop, that he'll be losing so little time compared to everyone else. But of course, there will be tire wear that may come as an issue in the later stages of the race. Will there be pace fall off? Cannot tell you for sure. But for now, Ryuta Asano is currently in a serious position to hang on to his position. We now have Johan Sinful, Ryuta Asano, and Mamoya Shakireza being called into the pit. This will be decision day for Asano on whether or not he will be making 2 pit stops or 1. Asano's being pulled into the pits, and we have a bit of a confirmation here. Everyone's actually feeling a bit early here, so everyone's going to be making like these 2 pit stops at the early stages of this race. Speaking of which, Sinful and Shakireza are currently up here. Gibbons has officially passed Ryuta Asano. Asano, of course, will be able to hang on this second stint for much longer than Gibbons. Gibbons will be pitting in the next 7 laps. Asano will not be pitting until the next 9 laps. So right now it's still in the hands of Gibbons, and as you can see here, the gap absolutely opened up to 7 seconds. So right now Gibbons currently has the better of the 2, but of course Asano might just be able to spend less time in the pit lane for his second stop. Just want to take a look into the pit stop charts here. Callum Gibbons currently leads the drivers who have made at least 1 pit stop. Other drivers are just maintaining their positions where they are right now. We have Sinful actually making a pretty long pit stop here, and we have a confirmation here that Sinful and Shakireza is going to be doing a single pit stop, a 1-stop strategy for them. So this will be their pit stop for the day, and they get officially lapped by, that looks to me, Grant and Markman, and who actually manages to stay behind Shakireza. And Shakireza in his tire warm-up phase is going to lose out a bit onto Markman. As Markman continues to get into second place, we have Mikolev, Alki, Polly, Rohan, and Raido making their only pit stops of this race. Oh, this is not looking good. We got drivers already. I'm not sure why the strategists in the Minato Aqua garage decide that it will be good for him to make a 2-stop. Perhaps there's a bit of a miscalculation somewhere. But anyways, we have 5 drivers in the pit lane so far. Anifam currently up in 5th place. Gibbons up in 4th. He will be having to make this pit stop once again. Asano now up in 10th place here. And as you can see, the Salma gets a bit closer to Shango in the pursuit of 9th place, coming into the second hairpin. And then we have Sean Pauli finally getting out on track. Masaraido now out on track as well. The amount of time lost is very, very substantial, as you can see here. And now we have Alex Grant coming into the pits. Markman comes in. Hofumi comes in. Gibbons will be in a surefire position to retake the race lead. But right now, this battle for race lead is still not done and dusted just yet, because we still have the rest of this race that these drivers need to deal with. Shango currently up in third place, moves up a few positions as they all move up. Anyways, Asano might need to find some time against Gibbons, as he's currently out behind them by about, looking at the aggregate times, it will be 11 seconds behind Callum Gibbons. It was around like 2 seconds or something, and now it's dropped down to this this long. This could be attributed to Asano's long pit stop in the first pit stop cycle. And now in the second pit stop cycle, Asano will be hoping that he's able to spend less time in the pits. If he's able to spend less time in the pits and beat Sean Pauli in the race or rather beat Alex Grant, then they're gonna do themselves absolute wonders, because Asano needs to find some time at the very least to gain something, find some time in the pit stops for him to lose less time. But for now, Asano still has a long race to go. He started second, but of course he's at a moment where he was able to take the race lead, and of course that was very, very sweet. Very, very nice and fitting to see a veteran Hololive member trying to give her a shot in the final stages of her Hololive career. Aoki and Mikolev has traded places, and now Aoki has beaten Mikolev, and you can see here the battle, it may still be on here. Mikolev, ooh, absolutely close stuff between these two, as Aoki continues to stretch her gap against Mikolev, and that should be good for her. Masaraido currently in 10th place and maintaining his decent spot in the mid-table. Cal Gibbons still maintains his race lead over Jake Martinez, 5.4 seconds. He's managed to clear Shango. That looks like Shango, known as Takashi, pinned down in 17th place. He's also committed to this one-stop strategy. And right now we have Cal Gibbons currently stuck behind lap Carz, and that is Hanning Pham ahead of him. So this may be some sort of slight impetus for the back of the pack drivers to catch up to Gibbons, especially for Asano. You can see here he's absolutely struggling to get past Pham. Pham, of course, having to race with a heavier car, and Gibbons with a very much lighter car. He's going to go down a late move down the inside, but it's not going to work as Pham manages to maintain his spot. There's Go and Martinez finally coming into the pits. So this is going to be a flat-out race between Gibbons and Asano. And right now, Gibbons is just going to hope that his next pit stop cycle leads to him being able to get out with no traffic. Because Asano has a lot of clean air right now. He's going to try to use this opportunity to get closer and closer to Gibbons as much as possible. Oh, Gibbons has to back off here. Has to think of how he needs to make this move done. But of course, this off-camber corner, this second hairpin is going to cause him some trouble. Oh, you can see here trying to stretch the limits as much as he can. Try to hang around the outside at turn 11. He should be able to clear it. Only costed him about, just want to check the timing here, about 11 seconds. Grant is in a serious position to take this race lead if, let's say, Asano Gibbons have slow pit stops. As it stands right now, Gibbons has about 61 seconds over Alex Grant. Asano only 50 seconds. Right now, Gibbons trying to get his mojo back after a disappointing run in both Hololive GT3 and Formula Hololive qualifiers. Gibbons continuing to eke out a pretty sizable gap. 126.809 for Yuta Asano as he continues to find a way past. Both of these drivers will have to pit again. And looking at the pit stops here, Asano has 4 more laps. Gibbons only has 2 more laps. So Gibbons has a realistic chance that he will be spending more time in the pits, while Asano doesn't really need to spend a lot of time in the pits because he only needs to fuel himself up right until the end of this race. Anyways, Gibbons currently in the race lead, trying to find a way past more lap cars. This time he's caught up to Johan Sinful. You can Gibbons, and here's Shaka Breza trying to move out of the way for Gibbons. Oh, that was wild from Gibbons there in the final corner. That could about moved from out of nowhere in the middle of the final corner. Meanwhile, we have Jeff Rowan also getting very, very close to Raido, who's currently up in 7th place, doing a very good job in his debut Formula Hololive outing for Todoroki Hajime. While Asano's quest to grab his best result for Aqua, while Aqua still here, is gonna be something Asano cannot refuse to back down. He must refuse to back down, actually. Misworded that one, but anyways, Asano's gap to Gibbons is closed back to 10.6 seconds as Gibbons is losing some time to Johan Sinful, nearly making contact. Oh, aggressive hopping on the curbs there. Johan Sinful manages to keep the car under control and crucially having minimal damage as well. There is a call for Callum Gibbons to come into box. This next pit stop cycle will determine on who will be winning this race, the Autopolis Super Free Zako Cup race. And right now, we also want to talk about which driver has the most desire right now, and also the best car available and all that stuff. Gibbons and Asano are currently in a battle on their own, and Asano will be sure to take this race lead back. Here is Asano in the final corner. Gibbons is going to peel into his pit box for him to essentially get his pit stop cycle back going. Alex Grant is already at the hairpin, so we're going to expect maybe a good amount of time for Gibbons to get his pit stops done, as they're going to top him up with a full tank of fuel. Meanwhile, Alex Grant is just going to try to get closer and closer, at the very least be around 20 to 15 seconds behind Callum Gibbons. Meanwhile, we have Asano, who is currently leading this race. He's going to try to make use of the clean air as much as he can to get ahead of Callum Gibbons by strategy, and if he's able to do so, the race may not still be over, because as far as raw pace goes, Gibbons actually beats Asano, as we've seen here in the race for pole position. Gibbons is now finally getting himself out. It takes a full minute for Callum Gibbons, and he's now exiting behind Alex Grant. So Asano's just gonna hope that he's able to do one better as far as the pit stop cycles go. Again, Callum Gibbons, he doesn't take a lot of time. He actually, while he is still going to be good until the end of this race, all eyes are going to be on Asano, who will be the last driver to make his pit stop. Asano's now finally being called into the pits right now, but he's going to continue for one more lap. He's going to spend a lot of time trying to stretch the fuel in his car, and by next lap, he should be able to get himself out. And right now, the gap between Alex Grant and Yuta Asano it's currently at 56 seconds. Asano's just gonna try to give it everything he's got. He knows he has just about nothing to lose, but at the same time, he wants to do something for Aqua, again, someone that he absolutely admires and idolizes. Anyway, we have Takashi Pen finally making a move against Shaka Reza, but Shaka Reza might take up a counter-attacking move. Meanwhile, we have Yuta Asano, who's actually caught up to Crystal Salman. This may not be a good sign for Asano, as he may have to back off. Salman only is currently in 17th place. Very, very fortunate for Salman's stature, especially given Aski's full commitment to the bright uniforms. And you can see here Alex Ren as well, and Calvin Gibbons not gaining a lot of time here. They actually lost a good amount of time here to Asano. And here's the move for Yuta Asano to come into the pit. So let's take a move. Let's take a look into Alex Ren right now on where he is at the moment. As it stands right now, he's currently ahead of Calvin Gibbons by about a minute, ahead of Alex Rand by about 57 seconds. This is going to be a long pit stop. Meanwhile, Mohamed Casio only having a decent run for, only an okay run for the Watamates. Obviously, he was an unfortunate victim of having to move right mid-season due to a Hololive member be having her contract terminated. So this of course Cashew is just gonna try to have a just go through with the season and all that stuff. But anyways, back onto this battle for the race. Here's Alex Grant in the final corner. Asano is still stationary. Cal Gibbons is already past the final corner. Asano is still stationary, and it's gonna be Alex Grant taking the race lead. Maybe we just went from Caleb Gibbons getting we went from the Gibbons and Asano show to now Alex Grant taking over proceedings, and now we can see here Asano has at the very least managed to maintain what should be a podium finish, and right now he's gonna try his absolute best to at the very least get close to Gibbons and Grant, especially given the lap time situation. Here's Go and Mikolev for position. Here is Mikolev around the outside, and he's able to get himself ahead of Sean Go. Much of this race still to come here in Autopolis, and as you can see, Sean Go currently trying to find an avenue of attack against Mikolev, but Mikolev has his defensive line covered. And as you can see here, Asano is losing a good amount of time against Gibbons. If you look at Asano's fuel load, he is actually fuel up about 2 liters, a bit more than Gibbons, which is a bit of a concern. But whatever case it has happened, and right now the goal for Asano is to find 7 seconds against Gibbons and Grant. Salman and Shaka Reza are trading positions as we speak right now. Salman with a great sweeping move around the outside at turns 11 and 12 to move himself up into 16th place. And now his targets are set on Takashi Pin for a points finish. Grant continues to lead this race. Of course, he last won in aero competition. That was back in 2022 in the Suzuka East Split A race, if I'm not mistaken. That was back in Hololive GT3 in 2022. That was Grant's last known win in in all aero competition. Of course, he represented Amane Kanata back then. So right now we have a new story coming up. Here we have Alex Grant trying to grab his first win in Formula Hololive, his first win for Yukihana Lamy, and his first win in aero competitions in over 2 years. We might see a win drought finally coming to an end this race if Grant is able to get himself back continuing in this position. And speaking of which, if you want to talk about lap cars, Mohamed Cashew is further up in the circuit right now, so Grant may not be in a realistic position to get into lap cars. Again, this will undoubtedly be a popular podium finish, no matter where you look here. And you can see here Jake Martinez, really dancing his car, dancing past Aoki, as Martinez now gets up into 9th place. Masaraido again is now going to lay on the attack against Hofumi around the inside of turn 1. Ooh, but there's no space for Raido, and he's going to now have to back off and fend off Jeff Rohan for 8th place. That's a good amount of defensive work there for Masaraido, managing to defend against Jeff Rohan there. Meanwhile, Sean Go and Isagaji Mikalev now going toe-to-toe against each other. Ooh, Go really now trying to find a way past Mikalev. No matter what, he's not going to give up. He's going to go around the outside at turn 8. Keeping his foot to the... trying to overtake against Mikalev. That was very, very great from Shango. Anyways, just want to get a bit comfortable here as Asano's lost a good amount of time there against Grant. But speaking of which, Grant has absolutely dropped back. So it was at around 2 seconds. It's now at 3 seconds. So there's a bit of a pace fall off there from Alex Grant. So this is something to watch out for, as we might see another bit of development for the battle of the race lead. Meanwhile, we have Masaraido now going down the inside of Hofumi to now get himself into 6th place. Meanwhile, more battles coming up here between Jake Martinez and Jeff Rohan. 2 Singaporeans in the Zako Cup. Oh, and you can see here Rohan tries to maintain his position and standing against Martinez, and he's able to do so. This battle for 6 is going to be very, very nice here. We have Masaraido currently in 6th place in his Formula Hololive debut, his AR Road Racing debut for Todoroki Hajime, and he's been very, very good so far. And right now he's going to set his sights on Sean Pauly. 4.9 seconds ahead. Meanwhile, Pauly and Mark are currently on a stalemate between these two. 128.602 for Alex Grant, 128.156, 5/10 faster than Alex Grant. And then we have Asano only about 2/10 slower than Gibbons, but still faster than Alex Grant. Grant has lost a lot of pace there, and right now look at where Callum Gibbons is relative to Grant. The battles just never stop. And as you can see here, Sean Pauly is gonna go find something against Chanel Markman, and right now nothing comes of it. Ryder's gonna be swooping for his opportunity. Here, Sean Pauly is on board, and of course he has been using this Unigami Coronet theme helmet for quite some time here, and you can see here on the right side of the helmet there is a bit of Unigami Coronets as doodles, which obviously is a good creative touch to the helmet. Of course, this was made in early 2023. We have Gibbons currently now about under a second behind Alex Grant, but this isn't Formula 1, there's no DRS, and in terms of push to pass, it's been inconsistent throughout track, so we're just gonna get on to our business here. Meanwhile, Asano is gonna still find a way past Gibbons, but I think the gap's opened up between Gibbons and Asano, so that's something. But while the gap between Asano and Grant was at around 67 seconds, but now it's dropped that to 4.5. So there is at least positive progress as far as the Aqua crew are concerned. Yeah, Martinez again gets closer to Jeff Rohan, who's also getting closer to Hofumi. just trying to find some avenue of attack here as here, and you can see here how Jeff Rohan is edging ever so closer at turn 8 and at turn 9 here, and then it gets neutralized once again. Of course, Jeff Rohan is never shy of attacking here in Autopolis. This is where he got his first win. Again, with Sean Pauly's penalty, with Sean Pauly's penalty, Goyena wanted to beat Sean Pauly outright, to win outright. But of course, second place would have done Goyena wonders for him to grab his first win in aero competition and his first course out of Pecora since 2022. But of course, things don't happen the way it is, and we now see Jeff Rohan taking the opportunity to pass at the very least Goyena on the final laps of the Autopolis 400 race last January. Oh, you can see here that's Jake Martinez, or rather Jeff Rohan, going off track and losing a position to Jake Martinez in the process. But anyways, Jeff Rohan swooping the opportunity on that Autopolis 400 race to overtake Daniel Goyena, while Goyena was in the middle of attacking Sean Pauly. And when Goyena made a mistake, Jeff Rohan swooped in on the opportunity to take the race lead after penalties and win, and he would go on to win the Autopolis 400 race. So he is a guy that takes a lot of chances. And so when there's a chance that he can find, he will try to get it. But right now he's down in 9th place. But he is no strangers to winning a race at the very least. Gap between Gibbons and Grant. Now we see Grant picking up the pace once again. Gibbons now drops down to 128.63. And crucially, Hyuta Asano is faster by about 0.2 of a second. As far as grips are concerned. And so let's take a look into where each of these drivers are currently at right now. As you can see, Shango currently in there may be some more battles here. That is Jake Martinez against Ho Fumi. He is now up into 7th place. Fumi is now dropped down to 8th. Looking at Masa Raido, who's currently in 6th place. He's doing a very, very amazing job for Todoroki Hajime given the circumstances. Anyways, right now, while there is a even more so of a ebb and flow battle here, we got to see again Aoki and you can see here Aoki has actually managed to get in behind Jeff Rohan. So this is going to be an interesting sight to see how this battle turns out. Let's take a look at the progress charts. Biggest loser right now, Takashi Pen, who started 3rd. He's now down in 15th, lost 12 positions in the process. We are unable to check on Nakamura, but she did start at the back, so she's not lost a lot. And looking at the biggest gainers, it's between Hofumi, who started 16th, and Chanel Markman, who started 12th. They both gained 8 positions each to get themselves where they are right now. Of course, Fumi is in 8th and Markman in 4th place. And also just wanted to highlight the tire situation. Asano has the freshest tires out of anyone so far. 7 laps fresher tires than Grant, 2 laps fresher tires than Gowan Gibbons. So this may be something to pay attention to as the race continues to progress, and we're about to get into the halfway stage soon enough. Oh dear, let's take a look into Grant and Gibbons. While there is this potential battle for race lead, we have Muhammad Cashew currently in the main straight. So there won't be any issues of lap cars in the foreseeable future. And by foreseeable future, I mean the next 20 laps. Meanwhile, Alex Rank continues to find something, as Asano is also going to try to find something against Callum Gibbons. Right now he is hoping for lap cars to intervene their progress. or for them to just race so hard that they lose a lot of time or crash out. Ideally, they shouldn't be crashing out. They should just be racing as they should be. But anyways, well, let's check on some other drivers, see where they are at the moment. Oh, speaking of which, Hani Pham, who's currently in 14th place for Canada. Not a good race for him so far, but at the very least he is going to be in a position to score points. Another driver that has yet to score points, of course, we have Callum Gibbons up in 2nd place now, so he should be in a surefire position to get some points. And then we have Tomoyuki Aoki currently in 10th, and another driver. Apologies if I need to check back on the stats here. And we have Callum Gibbons, Hani Pham, Tomoyuki Aoki, and Hofumi. Speaking of Hofumi, he's currently up in 8th place. Inspiring stuff. And here is Asano currently trying to claw back his gap to Gibbons, and right now gap's only at 4.3 seconds. So you see here that Asano does gain some time exiting the pits because the gap was at 11 seconds and now it's dropped down to 4. Here's Grant and Gibbons and Asano. Meanwhile, we still are looking at Raido, who is now finally caught up to Sean Pauli, and right now Raido is in a absolutely great position to get this 5th place for him to grab Todoroki Hajime as his first top 10 aero competitions, and now he's gonna go think of a move down the inside against Sean Pauli, and Pauli's gonna make it hard, and Masa Raido is spun! Absolute heartbreak for the eccentric VTuber that is Todoroki Hajime. Masa Raido has made contact with Sean Pauli. The move was 50% on and 50% not on, and that will mean that Masa Raido, with him beaching the gravel, he will be the 2nd retirement in this race. Absolute heartbreak for Masa Raido. Not the debut he had in mind, but he has shown promise up until that point, where he was challenging for a top 5 position. That's just cruel. Then again, it happens to you in motorsports. But anyways, Callum Gibbons currently in 2nd place, catching Alex Grant. And you can see what Masa Raido thinks. He thinks it's okay. It's very, very nice. Well, up until the crash, that is. You said Mechaizo, and unfortunately, he is unfortunately crashed. 現在の状況、マサライドが残念ながらショーン・ポリと1コーナーでクラッシュしてしまいました。その結果、リタイアしかありません。So that's a bit unfortunate. He was running up to 6th place, and now unfortunately he is down where he is at the moment. He's currently will only be credited with a 17th place finish. This would be playing. This would play in the hands of everyone further back, as they're now gained a single position. Martinez now up in 6th, Fumi 7th, Rohan 8th, Aoki 9th, Sean Go 10th, Mikolet 11th, Sinful 12th. Hani Pham 13th, Takashi Pin 14th, and Salman, despite not having a great race at the moment, he should be able to salvage this race weekend, or rather his race, with a points finish after after Raido has essentially retired. Meanwhile, looking at Cal Gibbons up to this point, they are currently... There's really not much separating between them, but you can see here, Asano is actually now faster than both drivers up front. And right now, he is slowly but surely clawing back the gap. The gap was at around 4.3 seconds in the last 2 or 3 or 5 laps, and now the gap's dropped down to less than 4 seconds. So we still have a race up on our hands. 25 laps to go here in the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race. And as it stands right now, we are still going to monitor the development in this racing situation here. Ryder, of course, has unfortunately gone back into the pit lane to reflect on what has been a largely positive event, all things considered. Now his focus has to shift towards the next race. And of course, I believe the next race is in Suzuka, where everyone in both the Zako Cup and the Suyo Cup will be racing what is essentially going to be the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka. Of course, the Epilogue Grand Prix at Suzuka, right at around September, is already at that point. The date is already at that point. Minato Aqua has already graduated, so that is going to be unfortunate. And just looking at the stats, just looking at the calendar here, there won't be any Formula Hololive races for Japan until September 28th and September 29th. Of course, we're still starting at around 2 p.m. Japan time as usual for the qualifying sessions and the race to go on before 4 p.m. as usual. Anyways, just wanted to check back on the current situation here. The gaps have now dropped back to 3.5 seconds. Asano is able to grab a lot of time against Gibbons and Grant. Meanwhile, there are more potential battles that we may want to pay attention. The battle for 4th place. These two drivers are gonna only be good enough to battle each other for 4th. But looking at the previous results here, Fernando Markman has a very solid chance of maintaining his championship lead. Meanwhile, there's a battle here that has come up with Mikolev and Sinful now trading blows between each other. I believe Sakurami, Natsuri, and Romatsuri have performed alongside each other. I believe this was in the Nico Nico concert that Matsuri has hosted last year, and now we may see 2/3 of it come into fruition here in Autopolis as far as racing goes. Sinful's now on the outside, Mikolev on the inside on the second hairpin. And right now, the battle just continues to bring excitement to everyone watching. And now there's another battle further back. That's Takashi Pin, almost being able to get something against Hani Pham. .3 or 3.4 seconds is the gap between Asano and Grant. Between Asano and what will be his only win for Minato Aqua, while Minato Aqua still remains as a virtual YouTuber in Hololive. So much is at stake right now, but still a long way to go here in Autopolis. We are now about to cross into around the 20 laps to go mark. And right now, Asano is going to try to get something out of this event. And right now, he is going to continue to make progress. And the gaps just continue to drop down. Grant and Gibbons doesn't have much left in the tank. And right now, this has a serious chance of turning into a 3-horse race for the title. Asano has not been in this position in his entire aero career up to this point. It will be anyone's dream to win for Minato Aqua, even if the win is encumbered, but we'll save this conversation for later. But anyways, the gaps now drop down to less than 3 seconds between Asano and Grant. And right now, everything still goes between Asano and Gibbons, who's now slowly but surely losing their touch against Asano. Asano just needs to nail these final few laps to these final 20 laps to perfection, and for him to at the very least hang on to this race lead. And crucially, if you look at the setups here, both Grant and Gibbons are having more downforce heavy setups, while Asano is having a straight line setup, which would mean that if he does get close to Gibbons and Grant, then he's gonna be an absolute rocket ship on the straights. Expect him to make moves in the back of the long straights. And now you can see here the gaps drop down to 2.6 seconds. And now you can see Mama Casio, Mama Shakif Reza battling for the silver spoon positions. They're just racing with pride at this point, but it will be Casio that will be taking this one. And as you can see here, Asano's like half a second faster than these two drivers. And now Grant and Gibbons are gonna go at it between each other. Anyways, we have Asano trying to catch up to Gibbons right now. The gaps now finally dropped down to 1.7 seconds. Asano just needs to make things work. Gaps now dropped down to 2 seconds. I'm not sure if there are any Japanese viewers watching. Please respond in the chat if there are any Japanese people watching. もし日本語話すリスナーが皆さんが配信を見るとチャットにコメントしてください。必ず返事するだから気楽に返事してくださいね。Anyways, we have Asano currently in third place. Now the gaps dropped down to less than 2 seconds. 現在の状況は日向沙羅選手は3位にいます。アレックス・グラントに比べて20秒の差があります。浅野とグラントの間に。Anyways, right now Asano is currently being urged on to continue pressing. The Aqua crew are gonna be enjoying this moment because they know this will be their last chance to see Asano race for Aqua. While Aqua, of course, is still an active VTuber. We have said this multiple times already. And right now we saw this in Asano's onboard, how Gibbons has been unable to make any sort of moves against Alex Grant, who's been able to maintain his spot in the race for as long as he could. Alex Grant tries to defend against Gibbons. Asano is now officially gone, just a second behind Callum Gibbons. All Asano needs is for either or both of these drivers to make mistakes somewhere, and Asano is gonna be there to sweep in the chance for the race lead. Asano is currently leading the charge here. As far as the fastest drivers go, and that's a pretty good launch off the final corner here. Let's look at the lap time differences between the top three, and it is astounding. Asano is the only driver in the top three who has been able to crack through a 128. Other drivers are only good enough for 129. Now it's not over yet. Meanwhile, we have Pin and Fam in a battle for 13th place. Meanwhile, Asano is gonna find something against Gibbons. He's gonna try to use this corner to his advantage. There is a pretty flat out section here, but if he can keep the car under control, and as you can see here, he's gained a lot of time. And right now, it's now gonna officially be a 3-horse race. It's a 3-horse race. A 3-horse race for the race lead. All Asano needs is a great sequence in this final sector to get him in a dangerous position against these two drivers. A double overtake may not be realistic, but if we could at least pick on Gibbons and make a move against him, and at the same time maintain a spot up front, or rather maintain his position in second place, then he could focus his targets on Alex Grant. Grant's currently the slowest out of the 3 drivers right now, and Asano's currently the fastest. Grant is up ahead. Gibbons is only in second. It's not close enough for Asano, but Asano's gonna think of a move down the inside. Oh, that was very, very close there. But Asano is not gonna give up. He's gonna look for another opportunity. There's still a long way in this race to go. Less than 20 laps, mind you. Asano is gonna go guns blazing on this one. He just needs to find a gap, find an opening, and just make the move stick. Gibbons is only able to match Alex Grant, but Asano knows he's faster than both of them. And now into the roller coaster straight, exiting the second hairpin. It's still gonna be touch and go, and unfortunately for Asano, he's not close enough. Again, the freshest tires out of anyone so far, out of anyone in the racetrack right now. Asano is currently hanging around, trying to attack Callum Gibbons. Final set of corners. Will Asano try to grab a good exit? He is lift off just a bit. But you can see here he's gaining. Look at how fast he's rapidly close back against Gibbons. Gonna take a move down the inside. The answer is gonna be no. Asano's being urged to not give up on this battle so far. The Aqua crew are currently having his back right now. Meanwhile, as we're waiting for any further developments between these 3 drivers come. We're gonna wait for these developments of these 3 drivers coming up. We're still waiting for some more pistol battles at the back. Jake Martinez going side by side with Sean Pauly. This time this will be a battle for 5th place. The Hiro Xiao drivers are gonna start finding some chances. Then I know there's not much at the moment. Oh, gets backed up by Sean Pauly. That's great defensive driving from Sean Pauly. And right now we are just trying to confirm that there's nothing in the tank. Meanwhile, Alex Grant is able to maintain a very solid defense up front. Gibbons has no response. Asano's going to try to find a response. And here he comes once again. The gap's at 4.7 seconds at the moment. Asano trying to find a way past Alex Grant. Still too far and a bit of a lockup here. Gibbons also struggling for grip. Could this be an omen sign to come for these drivers? Ooh, and you can see here them trying to... Oh, and you can see here Gibbons is now trying to find a way past Grant. Asano is now at a serious chance to get something against Gibbons. If he can have a good run out of turn 8 and coming into the second hairpin, there might be something in the tank for Asano. He is not someone that usually wants to attack, but this will be different. Asano, who gets very close here. Meanwhile, we have Markman and Orada Martinez against Sean Pauly. Martinez finally gets the move done. He's now up in the top 5. Gibbons is on board, trying to get close to Alex Grant. Still a long way to go, as we're about to get into the 15 laps to go mark in the Autopolis Super Pre Zako Cup race. As you can see here, Asano's gonna have a crack at it again, but this time he's much closer to Gibbons. But Gibbons also has the slipstream. But here's the thing: is he close enough? The answer is no so far. But as you can see here, Gibbons was very close to Grant, much closer to Grant than Asano is to Gibbons. 1 second separating between the top three. No matter what happens, this will be a popular win for these three drivers. Alex Grant, of course, breaking his 2-year winless streak. Gibbons tried to grab his first win of 2024 after being knocked out of studio contention in both series. And Asano trying to grab a very good result for Minato Aqua and the Aqua crew in what is currently Aqua's last race as a while still being a virtual YouTuber in Hololive. Asano in third, Gibbons in second, Alex Grant in the race lead. I'm not gonna see any of these change anytime soon, but this may change because there may be some lap cars on the horizon. There is Muhammad Shakib Reza in last place right now, last car running. Of course, Raido and Nakamura have unfortunately crashed. Asano just trying everything he can, but right now he's just not able to catch Gibbons because he's lost a lot of time in the corners. He has been able to get himself back on the straights, but right now it's to no avail if they can't catch him in the corners. And right now there's still more to come here in the Autopolis Super Prix. Again, a reminder, you can please drop a like in this stream if you've enjoyed watching what you've seen so far. And if you want to see more of these Hololive types of racing, you can subscribe to the Adak-RMS organization channel. There's a subscribe button on the below the video. And then there's also the notification bell if you don't want to miss any updates from any of the Hololive racing series, either it's Hololive GT3 or Formula Hololive. But anyways, let's take a look into Callum Gibbons, who's currently in second place right now, and he's trying to mount a charge against Alex Grant, and you can see Asano has now dropped back just a bit. Pace not forthcoming for Asano as Grant and Gibbons are back on their stride. But for Asano, this podium finish will still be very, very sweet anyway. And this is where he wants to stay at the very, very least. You see here, Alex Grant is now back into the 128.9s. Will Asano be able to respond? That's just a big question. Right now he hasn't been able to, but let's have good faith that he's able to. 13 laps to go here in the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race, and Asano is still trying to find something against the likes of Grant and Gibbons, currently dominating proceedings. So these three drivers that have led laps at the very in how do we say this? But anyways, they've led laps already in Autopolis, and as a result, they are showing some serious potential here. Anyways, just wanted to check on the rest of the field here. Look at Johan Sinful, currently down in 11th place. And here's Sinful trying to get close there to Shango. Of course, Shango has proven himself to be a race winner on his own for Ichijo Ryuka in the Hololive GT3. Again, another great achievement. And this time, Jake Martinez is currently on a charge. He's now going to try to attack Chanel Markman for 4th place. Oh, here comes Asano. Here comes Asano. He's going to try to get closer and closer to both Grant and Gibbons. And right now, Asano is going to try to continue his progress as usual. The ebb and flow in as far as race pace goes is currently astounding to see. Feels like none of these drivers have a real edge over one another. And right now, Gibbons is going to try again. Here's Gibbons. I think we'll move down the inside. The answer is going to be no. And now you see here, Gibbons really is trying to get something in. battle going on here as Asano still trying to find something against Gibbons and Grant. Gibbons still pushing against Grant. Grant still trying to hang on to this race lead. He's been able to maintain his spot in the race lead at the moment, and you can see here, and now coming into lap 44, 11 laps to go. Still everything to fight for. Here's Shakib Reza coming into turn 3. Here's Grant, Gibbons, and Asano in turn 1. So lap cars are going to play a part at the end of this race. So stay tuned for what will be a cracking final few laps here in the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race. Sinful, meanwhile, tries to find a way past Go. He's getting very close, but right now nothing of substance has come out. And as you can see here, Asano still maintains a 7-second gap between himself and Gibbons, and Gibbons, meanwhile, is usually around 0.4 of a second ahead against Alex Grant. Ooh, loses a lot of time there. Gibbons against Grant. Same goes for Asano, but to a lesser extent. And as you can see here, oh, there's more battles here. You can see Johan Sinful against Shango. It's now finally coming into substance here. Lap 44 here. Sinful against... that looks like Shango. Shango's going to try to defend around the inside. Sinful's going to hang around the outside. And I think this should work for Sinful. And Shango's going to try to respond with a move down the inside. Tries to unsettle Sinful. And job almost done for Go. He has the slipstream. But, of course, that will be Johan Sinful's 10th place. Here is Gibbons trying to find something against Grant. Oh, goes off wide, but still maintains the 7-second gap against Yuta Asano. And a bit of a fun fact, Asano is the only Gen 2 driver in the Zako Cup. His fellow compatriots Kizura Leo, Hoshizuna Ryo, Raja Kaczynski, and Wim Olgo are in the CEO Cup. They will be racing tomorrow. And that's the only Gen 2 representative still remaining. Asano's going to try to give it everything he's got. And Gibbons is now much closer than ever to Grant than he has ever been. Grant's lost a lot of time. Gibbons is now turning up the style. The limiters are off. Less than 10 laps to go here in Autopolis. And right now, we're going to be seeing Gibbons in his full fury. That's opened up to 4.3 seconds, but that doesn't really matter because Grant is able to maintain his position. And right now he is Asano is faster than Grant, but slower than Gibbons the last lap. So this is some pretty interesting dynamics here. Gibbons continues to push forward. Oh, and you can see almost making a move down the inside, and he's lost a good amount of ground here. Asano's gonna be waiting in the wings. Just one misstep against Gibbons and it'll be Asano's in second place. Ooh, Asano just about losing some traction and going on to an incorrect line. But still, only 1 second separating between the two. Meanwhile, we have Tomoyuki Aoki and Jeff Rohan trading blows. And now we see Aoki now up into 8th place in her college debut. Pham and Pin are not enjoying their debuts, although they will be scoring points still. Aoki and Aoki's currently in 8th, and Maharita unfortunately has retired due to a contact with Sean Pauli battling inside the top 5. Meanwhile, at the front, Gibbons trying to catch up against Alex Grant. Gap slowly closing in. Shaka Reza is right exit at turn 1. the 3 leading cars are currently just entered and exiting turn 1. So there will be lap cars currently set to play a part in this race. Is Cashew and Salman for the final points position. Cashew wants at least 1 point. Salman also wants at least 1 point. And right now we have both members who have fully committed to the right uniforms as of recent times. And now Salman is going to try to push on against Cashew. Round he goes, and almost there. And they're still side by side. This is amazing stuff. And Crystal Salman nearly loses it. I think that's what happened to Irene Nakamura, as Salman nearly loses the car as he has to concede 15th place. Grant continues to defend. Shakib Reza is right over here. Watch the gap. Alex Grant, Gibbons, and Asano. Watch out for these 2 drivers, or rather these 3 drivers. They all have a realistic chance of winning this race. It was a great save by Crystal Salman. The ASCII driver managed to get it done. That is also very nice to see. Anyways, welcome to the stream. If you're just watching it, we're about to conclude the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race for the 2024 Formula Hololive Japan season. Meanwhile, we have Asano still trying to catch up against Gibbons here. As you can see here, it's basically nothing separating these 3 drivers. Here's Shakib Reza, and here's the leading 3. This must be one of the closest podium runs in the history of Formula Hololive Japan. Because we have all these 3 drivers currently within a second of each other, and there may be a photo finish that comes with it. Here's Callum Gibbons making an early move around the outside against Grant, and this will compromise his run coming into turn 8. Asano's gonna be waiting in the wings as usual, but he's now getting very close. Here's Shakib Reza. Here's Grant, Gibbons, and Asano. 2 seconds just about separate between these 3 drivers and Shakib Reza. And of course, with a flawed lap car system, as we should said, of course, they're gonna have to fight their way against Shakib Reza manually. And here we have Asano trying to get close to Gibbons and Grant. He wants this win for Minato so bad. Meanwhile, Cashew gets up into 14th place against Takashi. Pinned this late race surge from the Tsunamaki Watame driver is also going to be nice to see. Oh, rounds the outside and to the inside again. The try and tested move working to perfection here in Autopolis. Gibbons, Asano, still behind Alex Grant. Everyone's just gonna try their best to get something out of this. Here's Shakib Reza. And now the gaps are still at 2 seconds, but you can see here Grant and Shakib Reza are still battling out for their own positions. Last lap for Shakib Reza was 1:31.839. Everyone's just setting a 1:30.7. So all these drivers are at least a second faster than Shakib Reza, but they need to maintain their gaps here, because if they make a wrong move against a lap car, then that will be potentially the race is over. Grant in the lead, Gibbons in second, Asano third, Shakib Reza already at turn 11, Grant and Gibbons already at turn 11 as well. Nothing has changed between these 3 since around after the second pit stops between between Gibbons and Asano. Grant is committed to a one-stop strategy. Gibbons and Asano have committed to 2, and right now this battle is far from over. At the very least, in the next few laps, we will go to 5 laps to go here in the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race. And as you can see here, 1:30.19 for Shakib, Grant 1:30.7. So it will be around lap 52 to lap 53 where these lead pack drivers will meet Shakib Reza. And now the gaps absolutely dropped down to 1 second. So it's now or never for these 3 drivers to get things done, to have one up against each other. Oh, and as you can see here, Grant. Oh, there's Gibbons once again. Asano's gonna try to get something off of it. And right now, oh, there's more battles here. Oh, that's Hani Pham making contact with... oh, and a suspension damage for Hani Pham. Another but a promising debutant makes his crash. And that was a battle between himself and against Mohamed Cashew. And that will result in Hani Pham retiring. Unfortunate stuff for the automatic candidate driver. Grant's almost caught up to Shakib Reza. He knows that he needs to balance it between... he's gonna balance it between trying to catch up to Shakib Reza and to defend against Gibbons and Asano. Asano very much closer than ever to Gibbons. This will be the part where Asano especially struggles against Gibbons. But as you can see here, Grant's finally caught up to the lap car of Shakib Reza. Grant's gonna hope that his own Gen 5 teammate is gonna cooperate. And here it comes Grant, but he's not close enough to Shakib Reza. Here is Asano down the inside against Callum Gibbons. And as you can see, he's had a very, very good run. He's gonna think of a dive bomb against Gibbons, but he has to think better off. 4 laps to go, and right now we have a race on our hands. All of this build-up has now led up to the top 3, literally only being separated by about a second. And as you can see here, Asano doesn't want like to have the 3rd place, but only when he's not able to get 1st or 2nd. If he can't get 1st and 2nd, he's gonna try to get it. Here's Grant, just about 0.2 of a second ahead of Gibbons. It's gonna open up pretty much soon. And right now there might be some chain reaction moments that may come off of this. Here comes Asano trying to hang around the outside, trying to find something against Gibbons. Let's take a look back into the progress chart. Grant gaining 3 positions from the start. He started 4th, he's now in the race lead. And here comes the battle we've all been waiting for. Everyone stuck behind each other. Watch out for Alex Grant. He's gonna take a move down the inside against Shakib Reza. Will Shakib Reza make it hard? Yes, he will. And here comes Callum Gibbons on the mix as well. 3 laps to go here in Autopolis. And right now nothing is changing at the moment. There's still a massive race on our hands. Here's Alex Grant trying to find something against... here's Callum Gibbons trying to make a move down the inside. There's 3 drivers going down the inside of each other. Oh, and that is going to be Alex Grant going off wide. And that's going to allow Callum Gibbons to go side by side. Round the outside goes Callum Gibbons against Alex Grant at turn 8. And now coming into the 2nd hairpin, Callum Gibbons is going to be in a serious position to get his race lead against Alex Grant. And right now it's not over yet. This is the 2nd race on Autopolis in a row where we get to see battles between 3 cars right until the line. But this time everyone is good on the rule book. Everyone is raced cleanly against each other up until this point. And let's just hope it continues being this way. Here's Yuta Asano around the inside and around the outside against Callum Gibbons. Callum Gibbons is losing touch against Asano. Asano is going to go around the outside around turn 18. Callum Gibbons is going to try his valiant effort to defend. He has to give room against Asano. And Asano now has 2nd place. He's got a superior straight line speed. He doesn't want to give up on this opportunity to get his first win for Minato Aqua. His only win for Minato Aqua while she's still an active VTuber. Here comes Alex Grant. And he's able to get ahead. Shakib Reza is going to have to move over to... against Yuta Asano. Asano's going to go around the outside. And he has officially taken 2nd place. And now it's going to be a straight up raw fight at the line for Yuta Asano if he wants to grab his win for Minato Aqua in what is perhaps a swan song race for Asano, the Aqua crew, Minato Aqua, in this Formula Hololive race. And that's a very good exit there by Asano, but I don't think he's close enough. He has one last chance coming into the end of this lap. It's a penultimate lap of the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race. Round the outside, maybe for Asano. He needs to find something against Grant. Next lap car, by the way, is Crystal Salman, and he's quite far back in Sakif Reza there. And now here comes the final lap, the deciding lap of the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race. And Asano is catching Alex Grant at a rate of 9. He's catching up. He's going to make a move down the inside. Ryota Asano is going to try his luck. He's going to try everything for Minato Aqua win. And now this is going to be for the win. But unfortunately for Asano, Grant manages to defend valiantly right at the line. But right now, Asano's not going to give up. He's going to go for one last move down the inside at the first hairpin. Asano is not giving up. The Aqua Euro palette in him is finally showing up. Asano's going to clutch up round the outside at turn 8 into turn 9. Asano with an amazing move for the race lead. The Aqua crew has to smile at this moment. Ryota Asano, an Aqua crew himself, an Aqua crew true and true, has only a few corners left to make history as the first driver in the story history of the Minato Aqua rides in aero competitions to win for Minato Aqua. And this might be Ryota Asano's only win for Minato Aqua, while Aqua remains as an active VTuber. It's been 2.5 years since the start of aero competitions, and now after tens of starts, Asano now comes across the final 2 corners. Ryota Asano has done it. He will bring smiles to Minato Aqua, the Aqua clan himself. He wins the Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race. This is gotta be very, very emotional. Asano knows he has to give it everything. He said in the pre-race interview that he needs to win this race if he wants to vindicate everything there is for Minato Aqua. And there he has done it. Asano, a Formula Hololive race winner. He said that he wanted to see this race doing its best. He said that he wanted to do his best for Aqua while she's here and for the rest of the season. He said the win was the target, and he has finally achieved it. Ryota Asano, you beauty. Alex Grant, despite his efforts to try to get himself a race win for the first time in 2 years, has to come short against a charging Asano inspired by Minato Aqua's impending departure. And that should be it for this race. Anyways, let's get on to this race results. Ryota Asano grabs what has got to be one of the most emphatic wins in aero competitions we have ever seen so far. Alex Grant will take over second place for Yukihana Alami. Callum Gibbons third for Roboco. Jake Martinez fourth for Hiroshi Ao. Fifth goes to Chanel Markman. And then we have Sean Pauly sixth for Korone. And then Fumi seventh for Tokino Sora. He finally opens up the points scoring for the Tokino Sora car, as well as Callum Gibbons, Tamuyuki Aoki as well for Shirakami Fubuki. And then we have Jeff Rohan and Johansson for rounding out the top 10 for Tokyo Mitowa and Natsuya Ramatsu respectively. Sean Go 11 for Ichijo Ririka, Isakaiji Mikolev 12 for Sakura Miko, Cashew 13th for Watame, 14th goes to Takashi Pen in his first Formula Hololive race for Hakui Koiri, and Crystal Salman manages to salvage a point here in Autopolis for ASCII. Shaka Reza and Hani Pham goes out without a point in 16 and 17 for Nenichi and Kanade. Masaraido has to be and also Hani Pham though, it looks like Hani Pham and Masaraido of course have retired from this race, as well as Irene Nakamura, the only 3 retirements from this race. But anyways, the talk of the day has to go to Ryota Asano, who manages to clutch up with a race win when it mattered. Very, very amazing stuff. But anyways, we need to check on the replays, see what has happened to Irene Nakamura in particular, to see what has happened here. If you want to see what happened to Nakamura. This was a battle between herself and Tomoyuki Aoki, two lady drivers in aero competitions for Gen 1 teams. So you can see what happened to Nakamura went off wide there at the bridge. That is where she ended her race. And for Masaraido, this was a battle between himself and Sean Pauli. So here's what happened again. Makes contact with Sean Pauli, and unfortunately that's his race over. Here's Masaraido is on board. Sean Pauli was ahead, so Raido is not entitled for this corner. So him being crashed out is, of course, pretty much normal. Meanwhile, there's also incident between there's also Hani Pham. So as you can see here, what happened here, Hani Pham was too eager to make a move against Muhammad Cashew. Got too early on the curbs there, hopped onto the curb, slammed the side of Muhammad Cashew, and there's damage on his car, and that should be his race over. Speaking of Muhammad Cashew, he's done very, very well here to get himself up into 13th, at least at that time. So here is Muhammad Cashew. But anyways, that was an amazing sequence of laps here for Asano. He was third by 2 laps to go. But as you can see here, what happened here. Callum Gibbons actually made a mistake. Let's take a look at Ryota Asano's is on board in these final 2 laps. It's here, Callum Gibbons at the bridge, hops onto the curb, makes a mistake, and that allowed Asano to go side by side with Callum Gibbons at the final corner. Final corner, that is, turns 18, turns 19. And at that time, Asano has been able to get ahead of Callum Gibbons coming into the final lap. And as you can see here, this was in the 3 laps ago. And if you want to know what happened on the final lap here is Ryota Asano against Alex Grant. Goes down the inside of turn 1, tries to get closer and closer to Grant. But of course he knows that Grant has a very worn out tires compared to Asano. Look at how clean Asano's tires were. So he uses the corners to his advantage, and you can see here he forces Alex Grant on a very defensive line, and when the opening is there, and you see Alex Grant understeer, Asano took his opportunities to make a move around the inside of that first hairpin. And what a win that will be in the record books. Asano, a Formula Hololive race winner for Minato Aqua. And you can see here, and at that point, it was never in any doubt. Easily the most deserving win and the best fairy tale win we will ever see in Formula Hololive competitions. Nothing will top this win. Nothing, I mean nothing, will beat this story. So anyways, we're about to get this race properly concluded, as we're about to get our hands into the championship standings after the Tokachi Super split Zako Cup race. So let's take a look into the championship standings and see what the standing looks like. So after 2 races in the Formula Hololive Japan Zako Cup, Chanel Markman now is still maintains a spot in the lead of the standings with 308 points, with Sean Pauli second place with 265. And then we also have Ryota Asano now jumping up into third for Minato Aqua, especially with Aqua departing very soon indeed. Alex Grant fourth in 2018, Jake Martinez fifth with 202. And then we also have Jeff Rohan 6, 151, Cal Gibbons 150, tied with Shake Freza, but with Shake Freza scoring the podium first, Shake Freza should be the one that will be ahead. Well, of course, we'll update you in the championship standings thing, a post on Twitter and YouTube later on. And then we have Christopher Solomon and Masaraido. Essentially, Masaraido takes over the points from Liam Kai, so that's why he's currently in 10th. Solomon down in 9th. And then looking at 11th to 15th, Fumi and Tomoyuki Aoki finally opened up some of their points tally. It's 72 and 57 for them. And then Mikalev and Sinful are tied on points at 46. And then Shango at 23. 15th place. Hanifam and for Autonomous Canada has yet to score points. Let's hope that the next race at Suzuka will have something different, with Nakamura 16, Nakashio and Pin also tied on points as well. A lot of drivers tied on points, so we're going to need to take a look into the post-race results processing. So anyways, that being said, we'd like to please share our congratulations to Ryota Asano, who have managed to have a monstrous drive. Talk about a crazy dog drive for the gamer made for Ryota Asano. So please share your congratulations to Asano. Please share a lot of great messages to Asano. He has absolutely deserved this win. Let him enjoy this win, all that stuff. So anyways, tomorrow, the CEO Cup race of the Autopolis Super Race is about to get underway. Same time, same race start time, 2 p.m. Japan time on Sunday. Please, everyone, if you're able to tune in, please tune in as much as you can. And of course, if you like the stream, drop a like on the stream. If you want to see more of these races, drop a subscribe. And if you don't want to miss any of our content, please hit the notification bell. And with that being said, I'm always in the commentary booth, and you've been watching the 2024 Autopolis Super Prix Zako Cup race. We'll see you tomorrow for the CEO Cup race. Hopefully, we'll see more of the same tomorrow. Take care.